Hello there, world of takers, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Rudels Blitz, and in today's video, I'll be playing in the Tier 10 Chinese Tech Tree Heavy Tank, the WZ-113. This tank, throughout the years, has taken a complete U-turn on its capabilities on the battlefield. The 113 has always been a capable tank. It's got great DPM and decent mobility. However, in the latest updates, specifically 9.2, where Wargaming made the traverse speed ridiculously good on this tank, it took away one of the only major downsides it really had. And then they buffed the side armor, which made it even better on a part that was already pretty good on the tank. At this point, the 113 is now the highest performing tank statistically for 65% and above players. Now, obviously, for the average player, this is not a great vehicle because it's not a tank that the average player is going to understand fully how to drive. Its armor is not very effective, but it can get bounces, and the gun depression isn't great, and the way the tank's turret is mounted makes it very tricky to use. But, at the same time, the features that this vehicle carries are so incredibly insane that if you can work them to their fullest potential, this is an unstoppable force out there on the battlefield. I'm legitimately surprised the 113 is not used more in comp, judging that it has the mobility, the DPM, accuracy for what it is. It's a crazy good tank. The only real downside is the fact that the upper plate can be penned by high penetration shells. And when I say high pen, I mean like 320 mils. You don't need that much. In fact, for anybody that doesn't know this, I brought it up probably in previous 113 videos, but this tank's hull armor is the same as the WZ-112 Glacial at tier 8. That just shows how good the Glacial's armor is, but it also shows how mediocre the 113's armor is. So let us see what we can do here. Up against us, we have an E100, an IS-7, a YAG, and a 50 TP for heavies. That's a lot of death. They've got some big alpha. In fact, all of their heavies outtrade me, which is a bit unfortunate because the 113 doesn't actually feature bad alpha. It's just they feature really good alpha. We have a Conqueror, an E100, and... oh, is that it? Okay, so we get, what do we get as super heavily armored TDs? None. So right now, oh boy, yeah, our team's at a big disadvantage for a couple reasons. First of all, they want to go town, which is not a smart decision, at least in my eyes. Going town is always a poor decision. But okay, we'll see what we can do here. You'll notice the mobility on the 113 is crazy good. The vehicle's acceleration is so dang good. And not only that, but the fact that it turns this fast now, I mean, a 113 a year ago would have literally, if you'd showed me how fast the 113 is, I actually probably would have thought you're joking. That's really the best way to describe it. It's that stupid fast. So let's see, we got the 100 rated mid, and yeah, I'm probably, oh, he bounced me. Okay, well, I was gonna say I'm probably gonna bleed a lot of health to him, but we actually didn't so far. Well, this is where the 113 can be insanely good, is using this insane DPM to farm a tank like this E100. Now, I'm going to make sure that the C100 at least has trouble trying to pen me, so I'm going to move back and forth, but unfortunately for me, he was still able to cut right through my armor. So let's back up. We got the Conqueror, or that's not the Conqueror, sorry, the 50 TP on my side here. Let's finish off the E100, and now we can use this E100 as a side-scraping port to hopefully work our tank some more. Alright, well, not too bad so far. There you go. Nice shot into the 50 TP. But we also got the Prog over here, who, yes, okay, nice. So we're getting some bounces. I mean, we got a lot of stuff, so I gotta be very cautious in this position. The Prog looks like he's actually going to leave, though, which is nice for me. Let's back up. Maybe we can get a shell into the T92E1. Nice. Get a bounce from you. Now we can start angling towards the 50 TP once again. Let's back on up, and bonk. There you go. Nice 525 max roll into the 50 TP. Now we can put on our adrenaline, and because we've got so much DPM, I know for a fact we're going to out-reload the 50 TP for the second shell. We can back up again. At this point, the 50 TP's mad at me, so he's going to start pushing. He gets cleared from my teammates, and what a fantastic example of why this tank is so dang good. I mean, a lot of people just don't understand the potential the 113 carries, but this short game so far has clearly illustrated that potential. We got the T92E1 off to the side, which we proceed to get a pretty nice pen into. Now we're going to go back to side scraping, and this is where the 113 is actually pretty good, is in a side scraping position. Like, sure, the IS-7 pens me, but we just about equally traded with him there, and the fact that we're going to out-reload him by, like, 2, 3, oh, well, I was going to shoot that WT, but either way, we did 5,000 damage this game. I don't know if this game looked like I did 5,000, but that's what we were able to do. I wasn't the biggest fan of my team pushing town, but I'll be real, the enemy team pushing town was a bigger mistake than mine. Because of the fact that my tank features great side scraping and very poor gun depression, it allowed me to work the town very well. Rather, if we'd gone up the hill, I would have done fine because of the fact this thing actually is very solid turret armor, but it would have been a very different battle. Going down is not bad, it's just worse than going up. That's usually the way I think of it. If both teams go up, you've a much higher chance of actually doing stuff a lot more flexible. If both teams go down, you just gotta kind of hope your team doesn't YOLO win. But either way, that was a 4,900 damage game, a pretty crazy game for what was probably a 2-minute battle, and as I said, a fantastic showcase of why the 113 is currently the top performer for skilled players. I mean, you couldn't do that with any other tank because of the fact that this thing has the armor. You noticed how I was able to side scrape against the 50 TP and then start side scraping against the Prog while dealing with the T92E1 on my side. You can't do that with any other tank nowadays. You don't have the DPM, you don't have the traverse speed, and you don't have the side armored capabilities. There's just no tank that has all those combinations. The Stritz Von K has the mobility and the DPM, but it has negative armor values, and its penetration is dog water, and so is the Alpha. So because of that, you can't really put yourself in a spot like that. A T95E6, again, has the mobility, and it has the Alpha and the DPM, but what it doesn't feature is the armor. It has no armor. There's so many tanks like that out there, and the 113 checks off all of those boxes. So yeah, it's a pretty crazy tank. Now this battle here, we're gonna try and make our way over towards base A. They have a bat chat and a TVP that we're probably gonna have to deal with, but we do have a T92E1, and the T92 is great for that reason right there. It can out trade TVPs, and I love it because of that. Being able to out-trade a TVP makes you so strong in some situations. So this is where we're going to use that good mobility the 113 has. You can see me just speeding along here. Now we are going to have to fight a minnow, which isn't going to be all too exciting, but here we are. We are in position now, and this is going to be good. Let's see, we got the bat chat down low. I'm not seeing anything over here. Oh, there's the TVP running off to the back. Maybe we can get a shell in, and bonk. There you go. Nice 430 slap into that player. At this point, we got the Bat Chat 25 ton right in front of us, who we're going to try and get... we're not going to try and use an HE. We're just going to use auto aim and miss it. Unfortunate, but not much I can really do about that. Alright, let's get behind this minnow. There's one HE for 420 into his tank, and let's reload. I don't know if we're going to be able to kill him. No, but I mean, look at this game. The enemy team is already literally turned into tomato paste. It's actually crazy how fast their team has died. Now, because the 113 actually features good mobility, you can get into the front line and still get a decent chunk of farm out if you need to. You can't do that in a lot of tier 10s, but this one, because it carries that mobility, you actually do have that ability to you know, get into the front line and farm. So there's the enemy Yo. We got one pen in. I do need to be careful about that 183. That's definitely the big threat here. But we did get a nice bounce. And let's see. There's the WZ. We're going to back on up this way so the WZ cannot hit me. There you go. WZ shoots. Loses 600 health. I don't really care if that IS-7 shoots me. Even if he does, it doesn't really matter too much to me. This is once again where our DPM is going to reign superior even to a tank like that IS-7. We get a nice 509 roll, and even though just a moment ago we were barely at any damage, now we are sitting upwards of 3,000. With that pen right there into the IS-7, we are now over 3,000 damage dealt, and we're going to start aiming it on the Yo, who we're going to get a very easy pen right into the lower plate. At this point, the 4005 is rolling off behind him, but we should still be able to out-reload that 4005 and bonk him in the lower plates. Just with that short moment there, we went from what was about probably 1,200 damage to 4,000. I mean, I was planning on doing another battle because I didn't think we were going to do much that game. But it's such a good example of where we were able to use that mobility and get into the front line and then use our superior DPM and absolutely farm. Now, I personally run calibrated shells on my 113, and as you'll notice, it made no effect to me dealing bad or worse damage than I probably would have if I was running Gunrammer. Sure, maybe I would have gotten one more shell out if I'm lucky, but let's be real. You don't need Gunrammer, and this is the thing that I always say over and over again. There's so many skilled players out there that waste a lot of their potential because they end up running Gunrammer over Cali. I can tell you for a fact that if I was running Gunrammer against that E100 on that first Middleburg game, it could have been a much different situation on how many shells I could have penned and how long it would have taken me to clear him. That is just one of the major reasons why running Cali is a mandatory thing, especially when you're using a heavy planning on fighting other heavies. That just makes sense. At least if you're in a medium, I can somewhat understand the argument because you got to flank people and use your mobility and you'll get to their sides and then you can pen them. But a tank that's a heavy, especially one that has so much DPM, you have DPM, you have pen. Take the best of both worlds. Don't take one. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.